Hi, everybody, and welcome to this SLIG recording. This is another of our student experiences. I'm Sherry Hudson Passy from the SLIG committee, and actually, these are my favorite to record, these student experiences, because I love to hear what everybody is doing and learning in their courses. So these are students from Jan Joyce's course, her fall 2024, her Fall Virtual Course Assemblage, preparing, writing, and revising case studies. What an interesting course. And I have heard so many great things about this course. I have seen so many pictures posted on the SLIG Facebook attendee group of all the fun things that you guys have been doing. So I want to start out by asking you, why did you choose this course? And how has it helped you build your genealogy skills? So anybody want to get started with that? Just chime right in.
Okay. The
Great.
timing of this was absolutely perfect for me because I decided I would do the pilot program for certification. And
Ah,
I sent in my KDP and document work at the end of August,
good
which
for you.
assuming it would be, you have to assume it's going to be accepted. And in fact,
Of
it was on
course.
Monday.
Oh, yay! We've got an
But,
announcement.
but but assuming confidently that it would be accepted, the next step, of
Yeah.
course, would be the case study and the research report.
Yes.
And I do have a case study written, but
Yeah.
my idea of a proof argument is you throw out 35 bullet points and you let the reader sort it out. And I'm pretty sure when I get the judge's feedback on my KDP that
Uh,
they will tell me they don't like that style.
oh, well,
So we'll see, we'll see. But anyway, from Jan's course, I am learning how to, manage all those bullet points into
mhm.
not evidence blocks, but blocks and things. So the
Right.
argument is more easily followed and, just to help the reader out. So my case study, when I send it in, um, will be so much better.
Oh, that's great. That's good. That's good to hear. Anybody else like to chime in on this?
Yeah,
I was
Oh,
very grateful for this course.
mhm.
Uh, I do not have any confidence at all in my writing ability, and I never retained all of that sentence structure, grammar, punctuation, uh, passive voice, any of that stuff from school. I mean, tiny bits, but this has been a wonderful experience for me because we have gone through so many of these little details that I had forgotten about. And
Mm.
it has given me confidence that I can do this. I am also on the clock and have a case study to write. So it was, as Don said, it was perfect timing to be able to do this right now.
Oh, nice. That's great. And Jill, you had a comment you wanted to make?
Yeah, I was gonna to say as similar to the others, the timing for this was really perfect. I am on the clock, and but I would say for anyone who is looking to do any kind of genealogical writing, this is a fantastic course. Not only do you get instructor feedback on your writing, but you get peer feedback if you're interested in participating in peer feedback. So it's a great opportunity to not only see how to put together a case study, especially even if you're relatively new and you've been reading, the case studies from, various publications and you think, wow, this must have just sprouted perfectly from somebody's mind. I think Kim Richardson, one of the instructors in the course, mentioned like it's just amazing, and you realize that it doesn't happen that way.
Right.
That is who knows how many iterations it takes to get
Exactly.
you that point, but
Yes.
it can be done in that you start with one piece and you continue to build on top of that. And this course really gives you the skills to be able to do it, but also through the feedback, it helps give you some of those maybe a confidence boost that yes, I can do this and it's doable. So it was really great timing, and really just a great opportunity to learn some of those types of skills specific to genealogy.
Oh, that's great. Well, kind of building on what you said about getting peer review and instructor review, what type of assignments do you have? Do people need to go in here a little trepidatious about, oh no, I'm going to have to do all this work? Or is it the kind of work that we love doing because we're learning so much? What are your thoughts on that? Maybe some of you that haven't um, given an opinion yet. Stephanie, you were shaking your head. Yes. Do you have some
Yeah,
on that?
sure. Well, I just want to say first that the reason I took the class is because I heard from a couple of people who took it last year that it was like the favorite class they'd ever taken. So I was
Yeah.
like, as soon as it's offered again, I really want to take it. But one thing I really enjoyed about how it's set up is that we start out with like a written case study from the NGSQ, but then she gives us the pieces to create a case
Mhm.
study, and then we have a case study of our own that we maybe don't want to share because we might be working on it for,
Yes. Yes.
BCG.
Yes.
But I thought it was really a great idea to have us, create a case study and write it with the pieces that she gave us beforehand. Like it was a little bit of work before the class started, but
Mhm.
then we have that in place to work with every week as we do it with our own one too. But like I said, you might not want to share that one, but just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
look at it and tear it apart in different ways. And you learn
Oh,
so
nice.
much about like how to structure it and how to review it and all of that. It was just amazing.
I love that. I love that. So, yes, go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I'll jump in. My background is a little different. I'm not working on certification, um, but I have published a couple of articles, and I find that it just takes me forever to write an article. So that's kind of why I signed up for this course, because I had heard about it also. So
Yes.
yeah, so working with three different articles has been helpful. Um, I will say that, and you asked about the homework.
Yeah.
The homework really varied depending on the topic of the particular week. I found the what I would call the assemblage homework, where we were um, putting stickies on the wall to sort of organize how we
Oh,
might want
nice.
to present. That to me, that's what I stumble over, and that's what takes me forever when I'm writing.
Yeah.
I can't figure out, so should this go before this or before that?
Right.
Where am I going
Right.
to talk about this particular evidence? And I can't talk about this evidence until I've talked about that evidence. So that was a really interesting technique.
So
And
you
I'm
put
looking
sticky
forward to
notes on a
using.
wall to do it. Is that what you're saying? You put sticky notes on a wall to help you get things in order?
Yeah, well, so basically organizing what main points, topic sentences,
Nice.
segues. Yeah,
Now that is a different way of looking at it.
it
So
is.
that's really cool to have somebody to be able to show some different ways to do things that because I think sometimes we take course after course and we hear the same kind of things and it takes somebody doing something different to make it click in our head. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else?
I would like to weigh in on that part. I really liked the fact that she did give us so many different techniques and tools
Mhm.
to use to help build our case studies and put them in a logical flow. But both, for visual learners and for I guess verbal learners, you can pick and choose from this like array of techniques and tools that work for
Oh.
you, and some I've already put to the side and said I'm never going to do this again, but there's some that I totally love, including the sticky notes. And so that's what I really liked about this class, as far as the picking and choosing and
Oh, that
building your toolbox.
yeah, I love that too. That's a different kind of concept. Kathy, you haven't had a chance yet. You can jump in here.
And the toolbox is really helpful no matter what kind of writing you're going to do. I plan to accredit through ICAPGen and
Mhm.
not BCG, and so the writing is a little different with that process. But any writing skills that you learn and these steps for organizing and revising help with any kind of writing. And also I would like to maybe publish. And so this has been really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And the homework, I would say, maybe average 10 hours a week. I don't know. What do you guys think? Average.
That sounds, yeah.
So it wasn't overwhelming. It wasn't overwhelming. So
Oh,
you'd
no,
be going
not
in, you would have homework,
Right.
and it wasn't overwhelming. Because I do know that there are people that are worried about homework, but when you know there's homework, don't take the course unless you have time to do it so you can really learn.
It
Well,
was,
this
I would
go
say
ahead.
it was very, very doable. I mean,
Okay.
I work a full-time job and still
Great.
this course, and I was able to complete the homework and depending on if you wanted to do peer feedback, you had a different kind of like due date for it.
I gotcha.
Just wanted your instructor feedback, you had until like the night before the next class.
I love
I was able to get mine completed by Saturday to be able to participate in that peer feedback, which in addition to the instructor feedback, I thought was very useful. But even with a full-time job, it was very doable for the homework.
That's good to know, and I like that you had the choice. You could do both, either or depending on how the week went, you may not have had time to submit it for peer review, but you could get Jan's review. So I like those options too. It's always nice to have options. Dawn, it looked like you wanted to say something else.
Well, I wanted to say that it wasn't that I was intimidated by the instructors. It was that I had never really written a case study before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to say, don't be intimidated by that, because no one is going to make you feel, bad that you didn't do well. And when they show the homework, there are some parts that if you're willing to let her use it as an example, you can. If you don't want to, you just say, don't do this. But it was great to see the different ways people interpreted information and how they wrote. And you could, that you can use that now and take that and say, oh, that was a great way to say that. I should remember that. And the peer feedback, I did not participate in throughout the course, but just in this last part. And it's very helpful to have other people's opinions and to read their work too, and look at it with a critical eye. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but a critical eye, and because it helps you understand these concepts we're learning, and then to be able to apply it and give feedback.
Great.
And I have to say that Jan is very encouraging. She's generous with praise, but she's also going to say, this needs to be different, or I don't understand this. She's going to be helpful, but you're
really
going
important
to feel
too.
good about what you did.
Yeah, that's really important too. Well, we could sit here. I'd love to sit here and talk all day on this, but we can't, because you know what, guys? They're hopping back into class. So, what I'd like to ask from each of you as we end this up is, what was your biggest takeaway from this course? Dawn, we'll start with you, if that's okay.
Okay. I used to say there's two of us, so.
Oh, sorry.
I think no, that's okay. I think my biggest takeaway was, there's two actually that go together. Kim's blueprint plan, using the sticky notes to put things together, because you can move them around and rearrange them. It's easy to do. And the way that was already mentioned, but the way the course is laid out, you start kind of with the beginning and you work your way through. So it's so easy to continue to build on what you have learned and improve what you're doing.
Gotcha. Karen, how about you?
Well, the sticky notes, of course, that was just fun. My cats have been having a good time rearranging them. I don't think they quite grok the concept.
Mm.
The other thing that was real good for me, because I tend to be long-winded, I'm being long-winded here, is Jan, one of her techniques is to say, so what?
Mm.
Because you throw in the kitchen sink, oh, this is fascinating. And his cousin was the Lindbergh baby or something. It's like, so.
Right. So what's that got to do with your case study, right?
That was really
I love it.
helpful.
I love that. Kathy, what about you? I'm just going through how you're on my screen.
I think everybody appreciated Kim Richardson's sticky notes and her process for rearranging. Another technique that was really helpful for me was cutting my case study apart paragraph by paragraph and mixing it up and rearranging. And they were all helpful to me. There wasn't anything that I scratched off my list. The transcribing was surprisingly helpful. I was skeptical, but it helped me disconnect from my case study that I had read and read and read.
Yes.
And see things that I hadn't seen before. So
nice. What about you, Stephanie?
I think, like everybody, I loved the blueprint, and I also enjoyed a session we had where we reacted to each other's work. I found that very helpful. But I think just overall, kind of crystallizing my understanding of how a case study works was great, and how it's different than other types of writing. So
that sounds wonderful. Mary.
Well, try listening to the computer read my my paper was interesting to me, but I just have to say, Jan is so supportive, and I think her support for doing this is also a takeaway of sorts.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's a
I
great.
was dubious about the case study. I was going to write for the course, and she just basically said, I want to try to help you with this. And she did throughout the whole 7 weeks.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. She'll love hearing that feedback. I know she will, because she puts her heart and soul into her courses. So
she does,
yeah.
and it's very obvious.
Yes. Jill, what about you?
I tell you, like everybody else, I took so much away from this course. Everything in it is a gold nugget, is something that you can take with you to improve upon. To mention maybe some other items that haven't already been mentioned, she provided us with a do's and a don'ts list. Things to do, things to not do. And that was incredibly helpful, along with all of the different tips and tricks and techniques that we got. For me, writing and just doing it, just getting it out of my head is the biggest thing. But then, proofreading it can be so difficult, especially proofreading your own work.
Oh,
because
yes.
you know what you wanted to say. And a lot of the techniques that you learn in this class is how to separate and do it differently, so that you find things that you wouldn't ordinarily find just doing a quick proofread of your own work. So, and Jan was so super supportive and helpful, and all of the instructors really that she brought in were absolutely fantastic and were, encouraging and supportive. So just so many wonderful things out of this course. And probably the biggest thing I'll take away is just the increased confidence level that it's given me, to be able to do this and to do it in a really good way.
Oh, that's wonderful. And our other Dawn.
Our other
Sorry
Dawn.
that you're last. You're just down here at the bottom of my screen.
Yeah, I'm just going to reiterate everything everybody else said. I had the 21 do's and don'ts on my list too, because I really like that for like editing and review. I thought they were great. I would say my biggest takeaway, number one, Jan is an amazing teacher. I'm just going to put that out there. She just was, again, supportive, but also engaging and interesting. And, when you're in a 5-hour day class, it's a lot. And she just had the energy the whole time and was, yeah. So that was great. And then the other thing, and she was available for discussions off class too. I had a discussion with her about BCG versus versus ICAP Gen certification, that type of thing. But the other thing is I learned that I was doing some writing well, but I was doing some writing not well. And I learned the tools to help improve the not well part. So
Love this. Yeah, I'd love to continue on. This course has had so many good reviews since she started taking it. And so I'm so grateful for you for coming and giving us even more. It sounds like a fabulous, fabulous course. So I would encourage people to keep track of what's going on at SLIG. And the next time Jan offers this course, to get signed up and learn all these fabulous things for yourself, because we're all trying to learn how to become better writers. So it sounds like a fabulous course. Thank you again. And I know that if I said, would you recommend this? You would all shake your heads. Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me today for another edition of our student experiences with SLIG. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time as we do these SLIG experience videos. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.